Ross Taylor. He said, awesome stuff. Ross, thanks so much. So I should have mentioned before, anybody watching along, feel free to comment or ask any questions as well. I've got some travel this week, so Diana and Eric were kind enough to change the schedule around. So it's a little bit off cycle for the timing here. So Eric, maybe briefly cover ONDAS Holdings, certainly great company, lots of big customers.
Yeah. So ONDAS Holdings provides what I describe as data-centric technology platforms to critical industries. So you think about railroads, oil and gas, utilities, public safety. These businesses, they operate over not just wide areas, but extremely wide field areas, and they need connectivity to run their businesses. They need to talk to their people, their assets, their equipment in the field to run operations. And what we do at ONDAS is we have two technology platforms, which are two wholly owned subsidiaries and sister companies. There's ONDAS Networks and American Robotics. ONDAS Networks provides that private wireless platform. So, for example, the railroads can run the trains faster. Right? They wanted these critical industries. They want to deploy new technologies in the field. It's about data deploying sensors, right? Bring information back from the field, so they can again use that data to run more efficiently, more safely. They want to adopt edge computing. They want to automate what they do for all the benefits we know, and it's hard because these operations are outside the city or urban environments where infrastructure is. So they have to rely on private networks to do that. So as we were going through this process to introduce our technology platform, starting with the railroads, we did a lot of work, and we realized the whole ecosystem around what a network can enable. And the drone is an incredible opportunity. We see these big critical markets. You think about rail, again, oil and gas, utilities. They have budgets that are growing, spending on drones, and it's really a data service that they're trying to achieve. So we've merged with about a year and a half ago a company called American Robotics. So again, that's our second owned technology platform, and the American Robotics is offering a fully autonomous drone platform. So they're solving problems around the bottlenecks for these drone programs I told you about. They're spending the money, they want to harness the power of the drone, but there's bottlenecks around pilots, right? Pilots are expensive and cumbersome to manage, and of course, the bigger issue is the FAA. The FAA it does not permit wide-scale deployment of drones because the technologies haven't been matured enough. However, American Robotics has both an autonomous system, so we've solved that pilot issue, and we've also solved the FAA issue. So we have unique, clearly best-in-class approvals to operate our drones with no human on site. So that means we can put it next to the rail yard, we can put it next to well pumps and storage tanks, a solar farm, and that drone can do the monitoring of fields, the inspection of assets and systems that provide a lot of valuable information to our customers. So again, you think about these industrial drone platforms and the sister companies. The drone is part of a network, and the network is really what an upgrade for more data capacity and flexibility we're providing to these critical markets, and that's a logic. Randy, you have Diana and I here today. Diana has been helpful to us, and Dynam.AI is in this partnership we have to bring the data analytics element of this data solution that I'm talking about, and I know we're going to touch on that.
Excellent. So we'll jump right into that. So, Diana, our title topic is automating manual processes. It's probably old school description. Newer school would be decision intelligence or automating decision making. So kind of at a high level, how do you kind of define this?
Yeah, I mean, I can give you a little backstory, and Eric can cut me off if I'm saying something I shouldn't, as far as sharing. But when we initially formed our strategic partnership, the biggest question I had from a sales perspective was, what are the biggest challenges? What are the use cases that you're trying to solve? What are your clients asking of you that you're unable to do currently? Where can we add value, basically, right? Because then we're both going to be successful, and that's how you close a sale, right? Is the win-win, and figuring out, where does it fit together? And for automating processes, it just kept coming back to the oil and gas industry, where it was really interesting for me to hear that regardless of which company it is, they're sending a guy in a golf cart 3 times a day to look for loss of containment, which is apparently a huge problem in the oil and gas industry to catch sooner rather than later. And so what we're able to do is take their aerial imagery, and we have an exclusive arrangement with American Robotics, and actually create an advanced level software that can detect oil and detect it as opposed to a shadow, as opposed to a garbage bag, which are some similar substrates. And this is not something that's being solved with traditional machine learning currently. So what we've done essentially is given American Robotics a differentiator, a way for them to come to market for their outside customers, regardless of whether it's in the oil and gas industry or another industry. And we're helping them build a software solution where they can actually get more advanced analytics than any of the competition. And so that's what makes us excited. That's what at the basis of our partnership. And so now, as we're starting to solve these problems together, I think it creates even more of a laundry list behind us, not just for American Robotics and ONDAS networks, but for outside companies that are really just looking to differentiate.
Yeah. So instead of having people driving around with golf carts, it takes forever and very, very inefficient for a whole bunch of reasons. You can have the drones. You can see kind of where the oil spill is, knowing that it is actually oil, and much more timely, much more effective, cost savings, everything else. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
Randy, I would add to that. It's so the drone can capture the data. When we're talking about data, we're talking about typically high resolution images. It might be thermal images. It might be emissions, fugitive emissions. So there's all these different payloads we can put on the drone to collect that specific information, which is valuable. But what the customer does, we don't want to change from having the customer, the golf cart with a clipboard saying, okay, check, didn't see it, didn't say, oh, I saw something, to just, then we give them, here's 100 pictures or 1,000 pictures or gigabytes of pictures. Now you can look at pictures, right? Because that's inefficient too. And what the truth is, and again, the sophistication that Dynam provides to us to help develop the analytics, the machine learning tools, so we can automate the analytics behind those images. So it's not a person, but it's actually the software doing the work, is incredibly powerful. And not only is it saving time, but the quality of what you can learn from these images is much better than you can see from the human eye. So it's when we think about end-to-end solutions to these complex technologies, I get back to the premise I said, you need to bring it all to the customer, because if they have to do it themselves, it's incredibly expensive, it's incredibly complex. They have to build that internal expertise, and it's not practical. But if you can do it all, and the power of the partnership we have is it really helps us complete that puzzle. It's a powerful it's a powerful solution.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'll add to it. So they're not just solving a problem for one customer, they're solving an industry related problem. So when you do that, you're just like levels above, right, your competition, because you're thinking way bigger than just one customer. You're thinking about, what can I do for the industry to help get it to the next level. So we're I don't want to geek out on you and your folks, Randy, but
Right.
we're accelerating predictive analytics. Predictive analytics isn't just looking at historical data and telling you what happened. It's using the historical data plus current what's going on in the physical world and trying to predict what's going to happen next. So is there going to be an oil spill rather than there is an oil spill? So those are the fun things we're doing together.
Yeah. And are you working on use cases relative to kind of the sales and marketing environment?
We are not with ONDAS and American Robotics, but we're approached by those big consulting companies, where that's second after automating supply chain. So supply chain is number one, and then sales processes is number two. We absolutely are. And it's the same thing. So if you can break down the sales process, which I know you have great strategies for, into the lowest common denominator of what needs to happen in order to get that sale closed, you can actually automate that process if you're able to compartmentalize, and then you can utilize artificial intelligence and machine learning to set up an automated process with your CRM.
Yeah, very, very, very cool. And then, so Eric, kind of, you're really helping to bring together a lot of these best of breed technologies to really kind of come up with just some fantastic solutions.
Right. Yeah. So, but it is about sort of understanding what the customer needs, and we come in solving that critical bottleneck is, can you collect the data? Can you do it efficiently? So, i.e., we're removing the pilot, and the FAA is giving us permission to do that, which is really difficult to do. A fully autonomous platform that works every day as a workhorse without human intervention is really special. But the customer is not hiring us just to watch something, the drone fly, which is impressive, but it's the value, right? They're paying us for the value, and that is the intelligence. So when we go in and we say, okay, we're defining this industry, we're defining the solutions, we're doing the hard things, we can collect the data, but then you have to architect what it is. So say, we can do these 5 things, and the customers say, great, let's get going, but there's 20 or 25 things we want to do next. Can you do that? And of course, then you get on the roadmap with them to do it. And that's all about sort of helping select new payloads. It's helping develop these analytics, which is the hard work. And again, that's what we're working with Dynam on.
Oh, that's awesome. So you guys have been on sales calls together with both of you, American Robotics. So that must be pretty cool.
It is, and I'll let Diana share more on that, because she's more intimately involved than I am. But yeah, it's a really great way to show the breadth of the solution, the breadth of our capabilities, when you can bring a best of breed partner in to say, okay, we're doing this complex technology, we're integrating it, we're getting on a roadmap to give you more and more capabilities. And, let's bring the experts in this, to really show you what we're capable of doing today and capable of doing in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the way we come to market really, and our perfect scenario for both an investor and a partner, is to have a company like American Robotics or ONDAS Networks, where they've got this pipeline of customers and they can deal with all of the customers. We just want to deal with ONDAS and American Robotics and empower them to close more customers. And so the fun part for us is asking them about their wish list. So what do you need to accomplish in order to close more customers? And for them, it's about asking their customers, what are you unable to solve right now with your existing technology or your existing processes? Yeah. And it's that flywheel approach between the two of us. And so we show up as if we're part of ONDAS or American Robotics. When meeting with customers or even just internally meeting, we're an extension of them. So we're looking to be the AI partner to companies out there. I would like more of these types of relationships. I think it is absolutely the perfect fit, perfect win-win on all sides.
Oh, that's great. And then Diana, I'm probably preaching the choir, but a lot of times I'll deal with technical CEOs who maybe can build it, but they don't really get the go to market. So I'd have to imagine coming from a CRO to a CEO, just in terms of really just getting that whole go to market engine must be, it's great for you, but probably even better for those at your company.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a line of sales jobs, right? And so I know, and I've been told by my CEOs of the past, that sales is the lifeblood of any company. And it is the first thing to be concerned about, because if you don't, you could have a great product or a great service, but unless you have great people out there identifying those good fits for you, then it really could be just a giant paperweight, right? And so, yes, I absolutely wholeheartedly look at, where is the demand right now? And are we building something meaningful? So product market fit is front of mind for me. We always test, any new technologies that we're building, and there will be many, to make sure that the demand is there and that we have the appropriate sales channels in order to get them in front of the right customers. Yes.
Oh, that's great.